On this edition of WrestleMania Rewind, two of sports entertainment's most respected superstars return to settle an old score.
That was clearly two men going in the ring. This is our intention. This is what we want. And the fans want it too.
Relive the drama as it unfolds, leading up to one of the most memorable face-offs of all time.
We are going to see an historic chapter in WWE history written tonight.
It's the Phenom, The Undertaker, versus the Game, Triple H, in a no-holds-barred brawl from WrestleMania 27, uncut and unedited. These are the greatest matches in WrestleMania history and the stories behind them. This is WrestleMania Rewind.
Welcome to WrestleMania! The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
Icon versus icon.
It is the greatest streak of all time. The champ is here. The boyhood dream has come true. I am the Game. Stone Cold, the best in the world. The greatest live event in all of entertainment. Welcome to the history that is WrestleMania.
WrestleMania is the stage where the grandest stories play out in spectacular fashion. For the greatest performers, this is the destination to make the ultimate sacrifice.
At WrestleMania, I will fight like my life depends on it.
And achieve the highest praise.
Many men have come to WrestleMania and tried to bring me down and end the streak.
This is the story of the Game, Triple H, and the Demon of Death Valley, The Undertaker, who remained undefeated at the show of shows at 18-0. For these two dedicated superstars, WrestleMania is the canvas where they display their awesome art form, the place they become immortal.
If there was ever a selling point to actually going to WrestleMania, it's the fact that this is a once-in-a-lifetime persona.
The magnificence that is the fabled, the legendary Undertaker.
Triple H, you can see that he's really getting into his mode WrestleMania time. You can tell that he is building his whole year to this one moment.
The soul of the game, the willingness to compete, the drive to be the best.
There's two superstars like Triple H and Undertaker who not only define their craft and constantly are moving themselves into the next genre, into the next generation, and constantly reinventing themselves. That's why they've been such greats and on top.
Arguably the two biggest superstars in the WWE.
The evolution of The Undertaker, the evolution of Triple H over the years is something that's hard to describe. The fact of the matter is, they're two men that have changed and evolved over the years in a major way. They're pillars within the WWE.
As destiny would have it, both WWE pillars would stand head-to-head on the most epic of battlegrounds, WrestleMania 27. It's Triple H versus The Undertaker, no holds barred, and it's just moments away. Now let's begin our journey in the desert, where 1 year earlier, at WrestleMania 26, the Dead Man faced off against his greatest foe to date, Shawn Michaels. Inside the ring echoed another storied rivalry that year in sports as the Lakers and Celtics, both iconic franchises, met in the 2010 NBA Finals for the second time in 2 years. On the court, the series came down to a deciding seventh game, while in the ring, the outcome wouldn't be decided until the bitter end. Of The Undertaker's and Shawn Michaels' dramatic showdown at WrestleMania 26. Michaels' illustrious career was now put to rest as the Phenom triumphed, extending his winning streak to 18-0 at WrestleMania. The fallout from the emotionally charged bout not only left Triple H without his friend and mentor, but the impact of the match took a major physical toll on The Undertaker as well, who needed time to rejuvenate and recover.
I'd just come off of 2 matches with Shawn, and it takes a lot to overcome that.
I've seen him wrestle through everything, and I will tell you that at that WrestleMania, I knew how physically beat up he was.
I think that Taker, after WrestleMania 26, was banged up. He needed some time to regroup and get healthy. At the same time, it's almost as if the mysterious Undertaker fades away into the foggy night.
In recent years, The Undertaker's participation at WrestleMania is anything but a guarantee due to the years of mileage and sacrifice he has endured within the ring. And back at the start of 2011, with WrestleMania 27 looming, the WWE Universe began to wonder, would The Undertaker return? And if so, when? The answer to this burning question appeared to lie in a series of haunting images which began airing on WWE television.
It was a dark house, it was in the desert, kind of had to be Undertaker. But because it was shadowy, maybe it was somebody new. Maybe it was something that was going to be brought in that was never seen before.
The video messages effectively built hype and suspense around the presence of a mysterious entity. And even though the WWE announced teams made no mention of the disturbing footage, the story was building to a fever pitch, with fans worldwide all anticipating a big revelation.
You look at your calendar, it's 2/21. Oh my goodness, that's a Monday night. Well, what happens on Monday night?
WWE Universe's hopes for the return of the dead man were answered. A surprise visit from an old foe would suddenly shift the emotion of the intense crowd.
Time to play the game!
That was just one of those magic moment nights of like, wow, they were freaking out that they were getting The Undertaker, and then my music hit. It was like a double whammy for him, and then nobody knew what was going on, and we got to the ring.
On a night where the WWE Universe had prepared itself for an unknown arrival, they were treated to the return of not one, but 2 WWE legends. Triple H, a longtime friend and associate of Shawn Michaels, was back after a prolonged absence of his own to face off against The Undertaker.
I was kind of tail-ending it. I wasn't wrestling all the time. I wasn't full-time. I wasn't going every night. I started throwing out all these different ideas of us, how we would come back and how we would face off. You know, it's a lot of pressure trying to follow Shawn and Taker in the match that they had. And we had worked together in the past at that level. It would have been a long time. And to get back in the ring with him at that level and to have that, it was unbelievable.
Never before in the history of the business had you built up somebody's return only to have somebody else upstage that return.
There was so much intensity that was emitted by the two of them.
With 2 intense icons standing face to face in the ring, the WWE Universe was on the edge of their seats, waiting to see what would be said. However, what made the Undertaker and Triple H interaction interesting was the fact that not a single word was uttered.
When you have two icons like that, not saying anything, it was just like, wow, that was a cool moment. It allowed you that opportunity to think and feel that moment. Silence is a very important tool. It draws you in. It makes you think. It engages you, as an audience, and it can become very uncomfortable.
Well, there's an old expression, a picture's worth 1,000 words. And they told the story with their eyes. You want to fight? Yeah, I want to fight. Want to fight at WrestleMania?
It was just like head nods and eye movements, but you understood the entire story.
That one glance at the sign, and it was just, like they just knew that the shit was on.
Like only true masters of their craft can do, The Undertaker and Triple H had mesmerized the audience, setting up a main event caliber match at WWE's biggest show of the year.
What could Undertaker or Triple H have possibly said that would sell that moment and that show any better? Looking at each other, looking at the sign, and understanding we're going to get it on.
You have two guys that have been around for a while. And not only do we want to do what's right for each other, but we also want to let everybody in the dressing room know, yeah, we're a little long in the tooth, but you know what? There ain't nobody back there that's going to have a better match than us.
Two future WWE Hall of Famers begin their road to WrestleMania without a verbal or physical exchange. But it was the veteran storyteller's decision to tap into personal matters that made their forthcoming match in Atlanta all the more compelling.
I've done everything that there is to do here in the WWE. Every accolade, every championship, and the truth is, the only true challenge I have left is ending the streak.
18 men have stepped up, and 18 men have been set down. Triple H, you will become number 19.
The Undertaker gets better every time he's in the ring, and look at what he's willing to go through to keep this streak intact. He's undefeated. He's proven that no matter what shape he's in or how bad you think he is, not only is he going to be at WrestleMania, he's going to have the best match at WrestleMania. That's his day.
The storyline was infused with even more drama as Triple H vowed to do what his best friend Shawn Michaels couldn't in 2 tries: end The Undertaker's WrestleMania undefeated streak. The emotional aspect of this story made The Undertaker and Triple H rivalry all the more captivating.
It was about Triple H trying to beat out that legacy of Shawn. Triple H was focused on, I gotta do better than Shawn, and I gotta beat Undertaker.
When I first heard that Triple H was going to be taking on The Undertaker at WrestleMania, on one hand, you're happy about the fact that possibly The Undertaker might finally get his. And then there's also the idea that somebody else, your buddy, is having to fight your battle. So it's sort of a bittersweet reality.
Ultimately, the match would become a no-holds-barred confrontation at the show of shows.
2 legends will collide. 2 icons will do battle. No disqualifications, no countouts, no holds barred.
You have only one thing left, and it's the streak. And when it dies, you die. And if I can't end it, then I'll die trying.
The Phenom. The Game. WrestleMania 27. No holds barred. And it begins now. In a match between 2 of WWE's most resilient warriors, The Undertaker's dramatic victory preserved the immortal streak and extended the Dead Man's undefeated mark to 19-0. A remarkable achievement in sports entertainment. But most importantly, it bookended a saga masterfully told by two of the best ever.
The matchup at WrestleMania 27 provided a bit of a twist because we see Undertaker win that match, but we also see Undertaker carried out on a stretcher and Triple H walking out on his own.
The Undertaker was pretty much done that match, and Triple H had pushed him to his limits, and it's something we haven't seen before.
I think people were genuinely afraid that the streak was going to be broken. But meanwhile, you came there going, I'm going to witness the Undertaker lose. I'm going to be there when history is made.
The tombstone of the Undertaker has ended. What cruel irony!
Then you're in the heat of the moment and you're saying, God, please don't let him lose.
What did we just see? He's not human.
When the Undertaker got by Triple H, there was a collective sigh of relief heard around the world that the Undertaker kept the streak going at the expense of the one guy you were convinced was going to stop him.
When you have the passion these two have and the athletic skill, you can watch that match and you can almost, be as engrossed now as you were live.
I'm really, really proud of that match. We told a story that anybody could feel. If you couldn't feel that, then I don't know what you could feel.
To watch your buddies get to experience that with each other, what a special moment that is. When it goes well, when it goes almost perfectly, it just makes it all the more special.
It was Triple H wanting to be the best. It was The Undertaker wanting to be the best and wanting to be the best on that card that night.
The amount of respect that they both have for each other. They're just masters to be able to go out there and tell a story together on the grandest stage of them all. It must have been an amazing moment.
We put a lot of pressure on ourselves to get there. And we talked about it after, just one of those things going into the match. Like, I didn't know he felt the same way I did. But when we talked about it afterwards, I was like, it's kind of relieving to know like he was as worked up and emotional and the same insecurities and the same fears and can I still do this? I'd never heard him say that to anybody, and for him to share that with me and us to have that, a lot of that came together in that moment backstage.
The Undertaker and Triple H's performance at WrestleMania 27 was a true testament to the commitment to their craft, as both superstars gave it their all, putting their bodies on the line. However, their physical performance came with a price.
I didn't walk out of the arena that night on my own power for almost 2 days, as I couldn't walk. That was tough. That was tough on me.
I was scared for him. I was worried about him personally. And to be quite honest, I didn't think he'd ever wrestle again. I thought that was the last time I'd ever seen him in the ring.
Two extraordinary athletes displayed an unwavering performance of passion, heart, and athleticism in front of over 70,000 in attendance and millions at home.
It's above and beyond. It is a match that will always be one of the greatest ever. It's art.
It was a powerful and emotional tale, not only for the WWE Universe, but for the performers themselves, one that will stand the test of time. For Triple H and The Undertaker, two immortals and artists, their showcase and canvas of choice is WrestleMania.
No words could have been said and shouldn't have been. Silence is a very important tool used at the right time. So it draws you in, it makes you think, and engages you, as an audience, and it can become very uncomfortable, but it makes you think, and when you have two icons like that, not saying anything, it was just like, wow, that was a cool moment. Silence is a great tool in terms of getting someone's attention and entertaining if you have the right characters. And so that was just a technique that's it's used, by the way, in negotiating very well, especially with telephone. Hello? Vince, you still there? I'm here. Well, what didn't you like about the terms and conditions that I just laid out? Vince, are you there? People become uncomfortable, and moreover, then they want to fill in all of the blanks, and that's what the audience, was doing, filling in the blanks. What if this? What if that? Oh my God! It allowed you that opportunity to think and feel that moment. Words would have destroyed that moment.